Raise your hand.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I have new headphones, so I wasn't sure. Um, so I don't know really how to share today. But I just wanted to. I had a couple of um feelings and thoughts coming up that I really wanted to ask about. It's between feeling overwhelmed by others people's energies, feeling what others need, and then all the energies, like you're outside, people are angry, and then people are this, and people feel a lot, and how to shield yourself from feeling all that stuff. What happens to me, I don't know if that is protector, is like probably I see nothing.
It
So
can be either. Either it's a protector or it is this what we call what I started with, which is an energy that doesn't belong to you.
yeah. But you asked us like if it came from someone that like the energy didn't belong. I definitely feel that. But it's just been difficult to get rid of the energy.
That's okay.
For me, I just feel like I get agitated, I get defensive, when people cross my line, or just go across my boundaries, I get too defensive, and it's okay, I can, I manage it. It requires a lot of work to manage it, but it's exhausting to me. It's exhausting, and it affects my chronic pain. So I have tight shoulders, and it's I'm just really tired of feeling always in a knot, and I just want to be able to relax and not feel like when I have my space, someone is going to, invade it in any way. So I'm kind of stuck between feeling too much of others and not knowing how to feel safe in, outside of my home and have my, some sacred space, and between getting like defensive and all that jazz. Yeah.
Okay, one question. So when you ask a question, you could connect to this energy, right?
Well, yeah. Yes, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. It feels quote unquote strange. It feels like you have picked it up, and when you ask a question, does it belong to me? You got an answer, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know how to function without it because I
Yeah.
get like overwhelmed by other people's energy, or it impacts my, like, people get very mean and they tell something and then I just take it too personally. So it's kind of like protective layer between, you know I don't
Yeah.
know how to find a balance between these two.
Okay.
It's very exhausting.
So from the session today, when you finished it, at the end, because there were two parts that we were connecting to. One is to connect to this energy that is not yours, identify it in a part of your body, you know where it is, okay? You ask it few questions, okay? What do you want from me? Where did you come from, etc., etc. Okay? What are you afraid
Hmm.
of? Okay? And then to kind of put it into a container. That was the first step to do. Okay? That you are aware of it, and then you kind of put it into container, which we say to it, we are not forcing you out, we are just knowing that this is where you are. And then there's a part of you that we connected afterwards, which says, I am so overwhelmed with this one. Okay? Right? Okay. And that is the one that is it's the protector, which is protecting against this energy which is not yours. But of course, as of now, till today, you are not aware that which one is yours and which one is not yours, right? That's what that. So
Exactly. Yeah.
so the
It's
idea
hard
of
to connect.
today's session, this is why it has to be done. We do it in steps. Okay. The first idea is to just be aware, because when you become aware that there is something there which doesn't belong to you, it already starts to be liberating for you in a way. If you don't
Yeah.
judge it, if you don't hold it, say, okay, I got it from somewhere, I'm carrying it, it doesn't belong to me, I put it into this container for the moment, okay, and I will keep seeing it there, and I see it, I don't judge it, I don't want to get rid of it for the moment. I just want it to be there, and if it wants to go away, I invite it, say, you are welcome to go. There was a small invitation, very small, not a big one, but there was a very small invitation to say, if you want to go, you take everything and you go. Sometime they go, okay? But the idea today was not to do everything because it may be overwhelming, okay? Is, is to become aware there is something, is to become aware of a part of you that handles these energies, so it's the other one, okay? And you look at both of them from a place of curiosity and compassion and understanding it, and that's what is for today. Okay? So just practicing being aware of it, putting into container. If it is ready to leave now, allowing it to go, and having the other part which is holding and feeling that I've been carrying this burden for now, and now that I'm aware, I put it in a container, okay, it is well contained or it is gone, it feels relieved. So my question to you is, how do you feel after this 1 hour being here?
I feel, I feel progress, but I feel like it's really hard for me to let go of this protective part of me that goes into this fight mode really fast. I
Okay.
am struggling to find a way back to who I was, but in a different way where I can, put a boundary between others, people feelings and stuff. So I want to be me in like who I really am, but I like I take it too personally. I take stuff. I need filter, and I
Yeah.
don't know how to do.
Okay, so could do this, and this is for everybody who could be with the same story. I wanted to do it actually into 2 steps on purpose. Okay, today was to connect to it, to become aware of it, and put it into a container. If it wants to go, let it go. And I want you to repeat this every day for some time. Okay, just
All right.
okay, just do this. I will see if it's possible. Uh, I will see if I can do a session next week, not Sunday because I'm busy Sunday, but Saturday, just to do a follow-up because I know the topic is important, and I will just do it. Okay. But I want, and this is for everybody, just please, so recording is important, just connect, put it into that soft container. So you have identified it, you know where it comes from, it's not yours, what fears it holds, what it's trying to do for you, etc., its intention, etc., all those questions. These are very important questions for you to have deeper understanding that this is not mine, but this is what it makes me do, or this is why it's here. And I am overwhelmed by it because there's another part which is stuck because of that, okay? So that's the two I made you connect. Stay with this for a period of time, okay?
All right. I have one more question. So
Right.
it's a protector because it gets very dismissive or very, fight. fight or flight, that kind of, you know,
Yeah.
mechanism. So just doing today's session, or what would be the best approach to take when you have this dismissive, negative energy that doesn't belong to me? Just
So do
neutral.
one thing. The question that I asked, what I will do is I will put in the WhatsApp group those three
Mhm.
questions. Ask those three questions. There are four questions that were asked. Just ask those four questions, and
Mhm.
and just see you are not being angry about it. You are being inquisitive about it, curious about it.
Mhm.
Okay? Because if you get
Okay.
angry or upset, you're going to get no answer from there. If you're curious, like we tried to do today, then you may have a lot of information. Okay?
All right. All right. Is this connected to having more of self energy and how to get more self energy with counteracting these parts?
Yes.
How would,
Not counteracting, but
yeah.
when dealing with this part,
Mhm.
if you have more self energy, then you feel more stronger, and it doesn't, you don't feel weak. Otherwise, you feel
What would be the fastest or more like best way to get self energy?
just like we do. Go to a safe place, breathe from there, and then talk
Hmm.
from there. Okay? It's the state that you can get yourself into. Curiosity, compassion.
Hmm.
Okay?
Curiosity, compassion, and yeah,
Asking the question.
six,
Asking
six
the
C's.
6C, yeah, correct, exactly.
Hmm.
6C,
Okay.
8P, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a long road, but it's good to have a home base. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you.
Shubhanshi, go ahead.
Um, hi everyone. Thank you for the session. And I just wanted to share that I kind of did the practice last time. You had asked me to do the cultural context thing. So I found out the recordings. I think it was like almost 1 year ago, last year, April.
Yes.
So yeah, I found out in the Telegram group, and I mean, I could not do it every day. It was, very strong, very like difficult, honestly. So, but I did, I mean, gave it a couple tries, and I kind of resonate a lot with, I don't remember the last speaker's share, um, because something similar popped up for me, both during the cultural recording practice and even today. And I think the underlining theme in both the cases has been, I mean, especially from the cultural context thing, or like that women thing, was that somewhere I kind of like asked that part, where are you coming from, or like where are you from, and I realized that it was not mine, obviously, and it was also not from my immediate surrounding, like family thing. I realized that it's actually from what I picked up from the social structures, and like people, in terms of how I try to look in people's eye and try to figure out what they want me to be, because there's always this longing that we have, that how can I be of service to you,
Long.
how can I yeah, I mean, how can I mold myself into being something that would be would that could please you, or whatever, I don't know. It's like subconscious thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a result of like over and over trying to do that thing, which ended up creating this part that, um, just be submissive, just don't act too smart, be stupid, don't be smart, don't be yourself, basically. So um this part was born somehow. And I mean, that's what I got from the women part, and still working with that thing. like with the recordings. And in today's context, I think found something very similar in context of like this sense of like emptiness that I feel inside, you know, and I feel like there's this um only the only thing I find inside of that emptiness is like just I mean I just went through a lot of stuff, you know, as a child, so it's like unconditional hatred that I feel like carry for myself. So that part of me that, you know, hates me unconditionally says that it hates me because if it doesn't, then I'll be in threat. So, you know, that maar padegi thing. So it's like just to protect me from,
You will be threatened or you are a threat?
I'll be in threat. Maar
You
padegi
will
in
be a
threat.
threat. Okay, okay. You will be
Yeah,
beaten up.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Something will happen.
yeah. Okay.
So, and I
Actually,
do carry a lot of
it,
shame
it,
around it. Yeah.
it protects you from that. So if it is telling you this, okay, so just to give you an update, and that's why today's session was important, and this is what I will do next time in the follow-up one. What we do then is that, okay, first step is to understand and know where it comes from, and like it said to you that I am here to make sure I do this or I make you become this way because that was the only way to keep you safe. Otherwise, you would have been beaten or hit or etc. So, like this, it was trying to protect you from that. The thing is that what happens is you get stuck in that age, in that time. So the part of you that started to protect you this way by having this behavior of you as a way to keep you safe doesn't get updated. It stays stuck in the time. So what we will do next time is that we'll go back in time and then say, when did you get attached to, I didn't ask today, you saw I did not ask the timeline question, okay? Uh, the next query is going to be, when did you get attached? And then to see if we can make it update, saying, okay, you got attached that time because that was the only way you could keep me safe. But now I am, I don't know, let's say you are a 25 or 30-year-old woman. I am no more the 2-year-old, 3-year-old, which could be beaten. I'm 30-year-old, 25-year-old. I'm adult. I am safe now. Okay? So, so that the protector, which started to protect the 5-year-old or 2-year-old or 3-year-old, okay, gets updated that it is no more needed to keep protecting. It will check, of course, do we feel safe now here, and are we not going to get repeated with the same behavior or not? If not, then it will agree to let go. So, and again, it's your case. In every case, it will be different story. But the idea is that we find this, what is called unattached burden that came from somewhere because of what was going on around you, and then it's not linked to a trauma or anything, okay, and it is just there, but it now keeps you limited and it keeps you stuck in certain behaviors or a certain story. What it needs to be, first it needs to be wrapped around saying, this behavior of this one which is there, I don't need to see it every day because I'm keeping it wrapped, okay? And then afterwards, what we will do is we will update it and ask it if it's really willing to release itself and be free. Because the objective, the end result of all of this is at the end for you to not to carry that burden anymore. Anybody.
Mm.
Make sense?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, the whole process is about unburdening, and I mean, just setting the like, you know, that thing of coming back home and setting yourself free of this thing.
This
So
is
that's
why
how I do.
that affirmation was that I am right to be home. Yeah, that is why it was put very explicitly.
But I think for me, at least, and I understand why, I guess, but right now the situation is that the feeling of home is like coming back to home of self is a scary feeling. So
It is still
I guess
scary. Okay, that's okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. If you start to have better understanding of why you feel this way, where it comes from, you're aware of it, and even that is a big step for your system. Because now it's no more in, I don't know why. I know why. Now I can do something about it.
I think for me it has been, to be very honest, it has like I meditate a lot, like I do a lot of stuff around this thing. So I do have the awareness for almost like 5 years now. I do have a lot of awareness about a lot of things. It's just that I don't know what actions to take to get out of it, right? Like the unburdening thing and that thing that you told. I don't know how to do all of that. And the result is just I feel like
You're,
before someone else rejects me,
you're in the loop.
yeah, I'll just probably reject them or I'll just reject myself. And yeah, this just rejection, judgment, and all these things and happening a lot. So,
The only thing I would say to you, there are things I would say to you. I say to everybody who keeps coming and still doesn't feel that they are doing enough. The fact that you show up, you spend 2-3 hours of your time being here and go through the process of doing inquiry within itself is a recognition for you to that you are doing something. So if the criticism does come in, that's the way you can say to yourself, I am doing the work. I'm not sitting idle or wasting my time. I am doing this. And yes, sometimes it takes longer time, but sometimes it's shorter. I will keep trying and I will not let go.
okay, okay. I believe you. I think you are the expert, so I'll believe you.
Yeah.
I don't know if my inner critic will listen to me, but I will definitely ask him to. I'll ask her to
You,
listen to.
you saying this is different than what you were saying a couple of weeks ago. I have heard your voice before, and I can tell you there's a difference in your voice. And that's okay. Look, I have done my work on myself. I've been 14 years into this. And I always say to anybody who comes in, saying what you do is hard work. It's not, you are not on vacation. This is hard. Working on yourself is the hardest thing to do because you are going against uh, or you are getting in touch with the parts of you that are very painful or vulnerable and feel alone and are in fear or in all kind of emotional states. So it's not a easy thing. However, if you can keep, this is why daily practice is a good thing. Because when you do that, your parts, see the reason they are judgmental or that way is because they feel not heard. They feel she doesn't understand us. She actually judges me, which is being critical to her. Instead, can she ask me the key questions, not being critical to me? You see that this is your inner. So the most of the battle is within. It's not outside. The outside world just triggers you. Okay, just creates you some, like your mother may say something or somebody may say something and then you get set up. They just, outside world triggers you. The real battles are inside. And and they all are looking for clarity. Somebody takes
Yeah.
away the burden that they have been carrying, but they will not just do it just like that. The reason I love doing what I do with IFS is the only system, at least till now, that I found. There are some others like hypnosis, etc., that can work, but you have to be. What you have to know is like what you were just saying, that there was a part of me that got created because of how the society, or it was to protect me from not being beaten, right? That is how
Mm.
you're this one saying. So that one did a big job. Even if it makes you, I don't know, a nuisance into your family, let's say,
Yeah.
but it was doing it so that you get protected. Okay? But if you say, oh, you are a nuisance, and why do you create nuisance? Okay? Then it feels judged, but it was your savior.
Mm.
So what it needs to do is to hear you say, oh, you actually did something good for me. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for you to what you did. Now,
Mm.
I understand you have been doing this since I was 2 years old. When I was two, there was a lot of threat. Now I am 25. The threat is not there. Are you okay that we basically update the 2-year-old not to be stuck there? That's all. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with. I mean, understand what you're saying. It's ultimately it's about integrating, and the whole process is about being seen. The whole neglect and everything is about being seen and heard, and
All of
releasing
your
the
parts. All of
yeah,
your parts. Everybody, especially the ones that are most wounded and the
yeah,
ones that are crying the most,
right.
are the ones that are most wounded and are asking, please hear me out.
Yeah, exactly. So the analogy I use for this is, I mean, I that's why I totally understand what you're saying. An analogy I use for it is that it's almost like coming back to your house and opening a room, and the room is filled with your parts of different age. And the moment, like a room filled of children, and the moment you open the door, it's like all of them are crying at once. Listen to me, first me, no, me. And then you just get frustrated, you close the door and you rush out, that I'm not listening, I'm not doing this thing nonsense right now.
I
But
got it right, exactly. This is why when you use the process, you go one at a time, and that's why in the session many times I say, can you ask to all the other parts, can you please go into waiting room? I know you're trying to protect me, but I can focus on one at a time. Exactly what you just said. Everybody saying me, then you will say, oh, it's overwhelmed. You'll stop. But if one comes at a time, and you deal with one, and then with the second, and then with the third, is much better. You got it.
thank
Thank you, Shivansh. Caroline, hello, my dear. Caroline, you're muted if you're trying to speak.
Sorry, I couldn't find my microphone button.
Okay.
How are you? Thanks. Let me I have to just open this. Um, okay, so I have a couple things. One is that I think originally when I read the questions, like to prepare for today's session, um, maybe I was a little confused with how, maybe I was a little confused, but as we went through um, the beginning of today's session, I felt like I had more clarity about what types of things you were trying to encourage us to like notice and be able to tap into. Um, but because I had kind of prepared ahead of time, I decided I wrote down a few things as you were doing the early part of the presentation, and maybe I'll go back and do those at another time. But I went with the one that I had prepared for.
That's okay.
Um, but so because the question said, is there an emotion, sensation, or presence I've been feeling that seems foreign? Um, and, and that registered for me because lately uh, I have been experiencing these moments of rage that I don't, yeah, it feels like a foreign, uh,
It's not
like
yours.
I'm like temporarily taken over. Um, and it's very unfamiliar in my body. It's very, um, I've never felt out of, I mean, I'm a very emotional person, but I've never felt that out of control, um, before. And so then that was what I thought I wanted to focus on. And I attributed it to, typically it was in a response to some sort of like entitled man, or like an oppressive environment seems to be kind of the trigger for it. So when I answered the second question, I was trying to figure out how it serves me. And I said it serves to push me to break free from the constraints I knew all too well as a little girl, but without the ability to channel it effectively. I feel like I'm left in the shadows of all that it's fighting for. So I didn't know what to do. And then I went to the next part of as you were talking about the different ways that we carry our family stuff or generational stuff. I wrote, holy shit, I think I carry my mom's anger too. And then I thought about when she got pregnant, because I was, 11 years after my brothers, kind of in the prime of her life. And I had this really quick flash, like, what if she was not, like, what if she really didn't want to be pregnant? What if that situation, what if there was it felt like a forced situation or something? I don't know. And then I was like, where the hell did that come from? And then I just went back to the idea too of like resentment, because I'd imagine that a mom that raised two boys was finally like, oh, I can breathe. And then I came, into the picture. And so, but when you went through the questions, and I guess this is what was confusing for me, is it feels like I carry some of that rage. I do feel like is my own. Some of it I feel like is my mom, and some of it I feel like is like from 1,000 years ago.
Oh,
So I
wow.
don't
Good.
really know. I don't know how. Like when you were suggesting that we let it go,
I will, yeah.
I
Okay.
had the thing that came up for me was like, it wants justice, and it's scared to be silenced anymore. It's scared of confinement, and its intent, it said, was to validate all of my suspicions, and it needs me to stop my protector from blocking memories. And it said it was definitely suffering, and then I got stuck with the trouble releasing it because it said that I need it, and I don't know. So that,
Okay, good.
yeah. And then your sound healing was like, you were saying the things that I had written down before you started. So I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I said it as well, that it is for someone and it was for you, yeah. Because it came so clearly that I'm coming and then the mother is very sad and suddenly she has guilt, yeah. But the only
Yeah.
thing that it said is that, can you tell to that conceived little one that you love her so that she feels accepted as of now and not rejected as she felt at that time. That's what was
Yeah.
that's what he said. Okay, so look, okay, so one, this part of you that came up and says this is rage, and this is divided into three aspects. One, what happened to you. One is what happened to your mom, okay? And then another one is what you call a generational, okay? Like it comes from 1,000 years, okay? And they all have different ways to deal. But, and what you can do is, if I see if you can over the next few days, listen to the recording and just be be friendly with it, if I have to say that. That I see you, I hear you, and don't worry, we are going to find a way to deal with each of you differently. Okay? So that's the first thing. Okay?
Okay.
Then what you do is you take the one of your mom, which said it comes from, there's a part that comes from your mom, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because
Okay, no,
I mean, yeah,
trust it,
yeah.
trust it. It's yeah, because if you doubt it, then you're not, you see. So don't, just trust it because it is telling you, so just take it on its own, saying there's a part. And the part that came from your mom, what you do is you have the recording of the legacy unburdening,
Oh, yes, I do.
okay?
Yep.
Go straight to that and ask permission to your mom, higher self, in that session, and saying, is it okay that I believe you carry rage because it must be your mother carry the, I mean, it must be generational, okay? So I'm coming here to release this part of me that carries rage on behalf of my mom, who basically must have what from her mother, and this is legacy burden, okay?
Mm.
And you free yourself for that part which is linked to your mom.
Is it strange that that feels like betrayal?
Okay, yes, so this is what, yes, it's okay. So what you say is, this is why I'm going to ask, yeah, it's okay. It's your protector that is saying, well, it may feel like betrayal. So you say, well, first I'm going to ask permission to my mom. So I'm going to do it with her agreement, okay? And
Okay.
when you check with your mom, 9 out of 10, she will say, I got it from my mother.
Yeah.
And so in the legacy unburdening, there is a question saying, is it okay? Are you okay to give me permission to help you to be free? And I will keep all the gifts that you brought to me. Because when you're saying the reason you feel is betrayal is that there are so many gifts that you've got from your legacy, from your mother, from your grandmother, etc. You're not releasing the gift out. You're just releasing the burden that she also carries, which she would be happy to release, and so on and so forth. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So you do that one, okay? Then there were three parts. The one that we did not do today, and I have not done today, is the one which comes from past life. Okay, we did not do that. Okay, but what you can do is to do the one that comes from your childhood with the trauma release.
The- Is that one that you could post again? The
I will post both of them. I will post
okay.
both legacy unburdening and trauma release. Okay,
Okay. I'm just not sure if I have the trauma release one saved.
and I will post legacy unburdening. So you go straight to the, because you know what burden you're carrying, you go straight there and you just start the process. It's very
Okay.
straightforward. It normally, if there is this resistance, just listen to what is the fear. Most of the time, and you can ask a question when you're saying that, is it betrayal? Ask a question saying, what are you afraid would happen if I do it? Because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
doing, yeah, ask the question, okay?
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and then we still have to do for the thousands of years,
Yeah.
which is your past life, okay?
Yeah.
That we haven't done, okay?
Okay.
But what this will do is this will help your system to release 2/3 of the burden.
Is that something I could do in the future, or
Yes,
it
we will do
before?
it. I have to do, I know. This keeps coming back from different places. I will do a past life regression, okay?
Okay.
Regression, a past life regression.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Caroline. Bless you. Hey, Pierre.
Manu, my friend Ida here has a question for you. Thank you, Manu.
Okay.
Hi, thank you so
Hello.
much for the session today.
Hi.
So this is my first time doing this. I noticed that a part of my body wanted to shut down during the first part of the inquiry. I could
Okay.
feel myself like going really, really heavy, almost into like a shutdown. So I
Okay.
needed to re-ground myself several times, which is okay.
Okay.
But the question I have is about what answers I got. So I feel like every time I make an inquiry of one of my parts, it's the same reply. I'm afraid of not existing, and I'm afraid of you dying.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
started saying that I don't believe in that. I mean,
No.
we are energy. We just transform. I can't die. I'm energy, and you can't die. You are energy. But do you think that those parts understand that?
No, because they are protectors, so they feel you have not understood. Okay. As it is your first time, can I recommend what you do? Pierre, if you can, I will post the recording of trauma release. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have her do that session? Okay, so just to give you context back, the reason why that part goes into shutdown is because at some point in your life, it felt it's going to die. And it had to take over and take control of you, let's say, so that you don't die. And when you tell it, everybody's going to die, it says, okay, she doesn't understand me. And so it will do no more conversation with you. Okay? So, because for it, it's true. And all your parts have only one objective to keep you alive. One objective at all conditions. So it feels you don't understand, so it stays in wherever and you stay in that same place. So the way around is to first for you to know that your part, if it feels that it's going to die, that fear is real, but that is not your fear of the current you. That's the fear of a younger you, that something happened to you at a younger age when it felt that it's going to die, the little you, okay? And so the protector comes in and then plays a role of what it does, and you feel the burden of it now, but it's been playing for some time. Does that
I
make
see.
sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what you do is you do a session. Pierre will give you the link. Just run the session with this part that came up, and instead of judging it like you did, go with the inquiry and keep understanding deeper as to since when it's doing it, how old were you, and then if it agrees to let you get access to the younger girl, younger you, then go and work with the younger you, and so that whatever she's holding on to, which made her fearful of her life, can be released.
I see. Thank you very much. I wasn't trying to be judgmental. I was trying to be helpful, but I see that I didn't do it in the right way.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Look. Absolutely, no worry. You're don't be hard on yourself because you just came first time to a session.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Manu.
Right. Thank you, Pierre. Hey, Melanie, your hand. Oh, Brooklyn. Sorry.
Yeah, hi Manu, hi everyone. I stepped away to take care of some things. I'm wondering if I
No.
can wait for Lynn so I can settle back in and listen.
Yeah. No worry. Yeah. Take it. Okay. Lynn, go ahead, my dear. You're muted, so you have to mute.
I said, "Hi, Manu. Good to see you
Hello,
this
hello.
weekend. I'm camping this weekend, so in my tent. Let's
Brilliant.
see. Can you hear me okay? Or maybe I should get off Bluetooth.
No. You're clear.
It's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I'd asked the question of like, is it okay to have multiple feelings? Because I was feeling like I wasn't sure if like abandonment or not good enough, or like lately the last couple of years, like this persistent heaviness that's been around that like, it's hard to brush my teeth, hard to go to bed, like do the things to go to bed, hard to get up and do adulting and stuff, dishes, laundry, all the a lot of the caretaking things. So that I think is, and you said, where was it? And a lot of the question is like, does this sound like it's kind of in the realm? Because sometimes I question whether I am truly connecting with the items or not, or the parts. So the heaviness I feel like in all outer areas of my body, I feel like.
Okay.
And
There you go.
then, so the thing I thought maybe, or felt that it maybe came from was like go, go, go of like other people from my lineage in my family, because there's been a couple generations of immigrants. So my great grandparents, some of them immigrated, my grandparents immigrated, my parents immigrated. So they've been adjusting and trying to like make it okay, wherever they're at, and like doing a lot of adulting, for lack of better, survival. And then when it's kind of like revolting and like
In your system. Inside your system.
yeah, yeah, it's like the feeling of like being tired of needing to push.
Yeah.
And it said it was maybe afraid of like not engaging in the beautiful parts of life, or like that they'll lose the parts that make me me, and being all business. And it's like the feeling of like, it said to me I needed to go somewhere, and so it's like it downloaded to me because it wasn't being maybe heard in the rest of my lineage. And then the point of it being here. Oh, go ahead.
No, so I think so. This is, in a way, it is good. If I have to say that to you, because
Yeah.
it kind of revealed itself to you, as to why and since where and for how long it has been carrying this, and now it feels like no more, right? That's what you're saying, and you feel it in your body physically. So for you, what you can do, so inquire a little bit more. It looks like everything is legacy, which means that you have been taking, both your parents' side, both were immigrating, or one side more than the other? Okay, Lynn, we lost her. She will come back. Okay, yeah, Lynn,
Hello.
can you hear me, Lynn?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. So my question was, did both of your parents immigrated, or only one of them did? Is like there are two
Yeah,
lineages, father side and mother side, both.
both of them immigrated. Yeah, both of them
Okay,
immigrated.
okay.
And then
So
both sides, their parents also immigrated
immigrated, yeah,
from
correct. Okay.
different places.
Different place, correct. So you could be carrying the burden of both lineage of your mom and also of your father.
Hmm.
So what I would recommend you do is you do what I'm going to post, the legacy unburdening.
Hmm.
You do separately, first time with your mother lineage, and then second time with your father lineage. about
Okay.
all the burden that of this of the immigration of being migrating that is in your system, but that was there from your mom. So you do first with your mother, okay, release all of it to the generation, and then you connect with your father and you repeat the same process all through with your father, okay, and
Okay.
then you tell in the next session what happens, because it looks like everything in your system is to do with what you had to learn by listening to your father and mother, repeating their process, and that now your system is saying, I've done enough, I don't want to carry this anymore. Which because it's not a trauma or something that you've gone through, but it could be something that your mom and your father went through. Unless, did you also immigrate?
No, I was born here.
Okay, so it is a legacy of your mother and father. Okay, they're let's say, yeah, the two sides. So do separately for
Okay.
mom, separately for your father. Okay,
Okay.
and
Thank
it
you.
could
Yeah,
be different energy, it could be different thing that would get released from you that you learn from your mom or that you took on from your mom and father, and then see how this energy that you connected today,
mhm.
where it is. Is it still there or it's gone?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it just feels like I'm like a not a sinkful, but like just like this depository for sadness, and I don't
Right,
really
exactly.
understand
And
why.
so
And I,
it's exactly that. This is exactly that. Because as
yeah.
you do
Okay.
not have a story around this within your lifetime, so you don't have any, trauma of immigration.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
you have taken it from your father and mother, and there is a lot of actually research and science as well, which says that actually it goes into your biology as well. So it's not just.
Yeah, when you were talking about things that were meant to be positive turn negative or betrayal, it made me think of like when my mom got married, she had shared stories about like, not really wanting to walk down the aisle or like the abuse that occurred in the house afterwards. I'm sure that wasn't what she had expected. And then she lost all of her baby photos because of World War II and stuff. So I
Okay,
don't
so
know if
there's
any of that.
more. So there's more than just immigration. Huh? There is a lot more that she's carrying, and that is coming to you. So it is good that you have this, what is called a burden, that you are aware.
Okay.
You find it in your body, and then through the process of legacy and burdening, you take it to your mom, ask her to also release her, and then it could be
Oh,
generational, and she releases, or your grandmother releases, and then all the other generation release. It's a very beautiful process in itself, very beautiful.
well, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought to that would be nice to be able to share it or at least offer it,
Yeah.
see if she's open to it.
No, you
And
do
it
it
was,
for her. If she wants
oh,
to do,
I see.
you do for her. But if she's
Okay,
open to do for herself,
right.
this is brilliant, huh?
She's a little afraid of unpleasant feelings. I think she rather hang
If
out
she
in the more
agrees, if
pleasant
she
ones.
agrees to do this as well, Paul, you're just adding into the family story.
Hmm. It was really helpful too when you said the parts of you that are still intertwined with it, like call them back home, because that it just, after you've sat with it for so long, it made so much sense. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you,
Hope you're
Lynn.
doing well, you and your team. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Margarita, you want to go?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay.
Manu, it's going to be quick and kind of funny. Like second time I have a cartoon character which came up in this session. I mean, not the same character, different one, but it was a quick one. So first, it came up as a haze, you know, kind of mist around my chest area. And what came up was like a heart wall. And so this mist turned
We don't
into.
hear you very well. Huh? Can you little bit
Oh, okay.
closer to
Okay.
the? Yeah, now.
Sorry, I'll try to adjust.
No, no, better.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it came up as something that doesn't belong to me. It came up as mist around my chest, around my heart, and it felt like a heart wall. So, and then with questions, this mist turned into this kind of rose cloud, like a cartoon character. The row of a rose color and very kind of cheeky character. And he was, I don't know, it didn't feel like he belonged to me, but it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of all weird. But anyway, when I offered him to go, I brought over a plane. It came up, plane came up, and I was like, do you want to go away? And he goes, well, I'm not sure. I was like, first class. And he goes, okay, I'll take first class seat. And so he went away on this plane. So it was kind of weird and quick. I don't know. Was it my imagination? But it was.
But what messages is it giving you?
The message was like he was saying, I'm a fool. He is a fool. Kind of. I'm a foolish. Therefore, I keep you kind of silly.
Okay.
So you don't have kind of clarity about it, you know, or you feel stupid. I don't know. Something like this.
Does it feel heavy or does it feel like it's a?
When it came up first, it was like a smoke, you know, like a mist, and so I definitely didn't have a clarity, you know, in the fog. You don't have it. It didn't really feel heavy. It felt rather like it made me kind of foolish.
Yeah.
So it made some kind of, yeah, so it was not clarity for me there. So I would not be able to understand what's going on. Kind of
Okay, so see if you can.
confused, you know?
Yeah, so listen back in the recording, if you can. Just go back into recording, and if it feels like it's a protector with good intention and it's trying to keep you, you know, in a light spirit and keep you, then it is in self energy, so it's okay. See,
Okay.
we have a lot of paths that are, you know, they are in self energy, they are in love, they are in compassion, they keep you light, they come up to. Some of them can be self-like, which means that they are burdened, but some of them are not. So it's important to query.
So just go through this again and see what comes up.
Yeah, just see what it comes. Yeah, if it is carrying a burden, you see, when you ask a question, what is your intention for me? Why are you here? That gives you a lot of cue about what is it holding on to. Why is it holding on to? If it's
Yeah,
holding on to, if it's holding on to fear, for example, it says, I make you silly because I'm afraid you are going to be, I don't know, judged, or you're going to be, then it is holding a charge, which means it's burdened.
yeah, I need to replay it because he was acting like a clown, kind of. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I didn't feel heavy anyway.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Melanie?
Hi.
Yeah.
I have to ask you to take it off the recording, please.
Yeah.